Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I'm going to talk about cognitive behavioral theory. And from what I've read, and I don't know a lot about it, I'm just finding out about it really. But from what I've read, basically it's kind of like just changing your habits. It came about because I am postmenopausal, and a lot of my friends are still menopausal, and they're having a hard time sleeping. I have a hard time sleeping too, but it's only because I go to bed late and I get up early. So that's easily fixed. I just have to fix it. But a lot of my friends have problems either getting to sleep or staying asleep or getting up in the morning, or a combination of those three things. And so we were talking about some of the different things that people do. So some people take a sleeping aid, take a pill or take some CBD oil or whatever it looks like for them, some sort of a substance. Other people like just sleep when they can. So they'll nap during the day if they have to. They'll sleep at night if they can. Other people watch TV or read a book or all kinds of different things that people, have tried, and some things work for them and some things don't. So I started doing a little bit of research just because I'm sort of curious. And a lot of the research led me to this, because basically they say that there are no long-term side effects from any of this. It's something that we could all do if we just stuck with routine long enough. That, while there might be some short-term, like more loss of sleep, it's very short-term, and if you stick with it, it's like a habit. The more you do it, the more successful it becomes. So some of the things that these are some of the things that they've suggested. They suggest changing your routine. So for me, for example, because I stay up late and I get up early, if I went to bed earlier and still got up at the same time, then I would get more sleep. It just makes sense, because generally I don't have a problem falling asleep. Occasional night I do, but generally I'm asleep within 15 minutes, and usually within 5. They say to set your sleep limits. So one of the suggestions was if you have to have a nap during the day, and they suggest you try not to, but if you do have to have a nap during the day, that you set a limit of like 20 minutes. Don't have a 2 or 3 hour nap, because that's going to throw your routine off later in that night. Or if you are tired and you wake up, like, don't lie in the morning. Get up at the same time anyway. Now that'll make you more tired the next day. You'll have had less sleep than, and you're trying to get more sleep. So it sort of seems counterintuitive. But what they say is that your body will regulate, and your body needs sleep, right? So eventually your body will clue in, okay, I'm going to go to bed at, 10:30 every night, no matter what. And then your body will start to regulate itself accordingly. And, no matter what, I'm going to get up at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever your time is that you get up. Same sort of thing. They talk about changing lifestyle habits. So, for example, if you smoke or you drink or you eat late at night, those are 3 things. And if you don't get enough water, those are 4 things that can affect your sleep. If you have too much caffeine, that can affect your sleep. So it's 5 things, that you need to be cognizant of if you're trying to change your sleep habits. They suggest improving your sleep area. So you make sure that it's comfy, the room is dark and cool, and particularly if you end up having night sweats, which thankfully I didn't have, but I know a lot of people do. Excuse me. So they suggest making your room, cool and cozy, so that you feel really good going to bed, and you just drift off to sleep. They talk about learning relaxation techniques. So you can, do deep breathing, or you can do meditation. One of the very first things I used to do is I used to wrap the pillow around my head, so I'd be lying on it, and then I'd lie on this side, then I'd wrap this side around here, and I'd do deep breathing. It would sort of sound like the ocean, in a conch shell, that kind of a thing. And that rhythmic breathing would just knock me off to sleep. They talk about being passively awake. So if you do wake up, don't fight it. Don't get all anxious, like, oh, I can't sleep, and start punching your pillow and all that kind of stuff. Just stay passively, so you're resting, and eventually you'll fall back to sleep. And then the other thing they suggested was using biofeedback. So, if you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or an Oura Ring or that kind of a thing, that'll give you some clues too as to, as particularly the more you do this practice, this will give you some clues as to, what's going on with your body. So those were all some great suggestions. And quite frankly, in my humblest of opinions, because I don't know a lot about it, and I fully admit that, but it's basically, just creating some better habits around sleep. So that's it. That's my musing for the day. Have a great one, everyone.